I'm Sarah, and I never thought my husband's affair would lead me to humiliate a millionaire in front of 200 people. But sometimes karma works in the most insane ways possible. And trust me, what happened that night changed everything. This is my story. 6 months ago, I was living what I thought was a perfect life in suburban Chicago, married for 8 years to James, a corporate attorney who worked crazy hours. We had a nice house, 2 cars, the whole American dream package. Except it was all a lie. I found out about the affair the stupidest way possible, a text message that popped up on his iPad while I was looking for a recipe. "Can't wait to see you tonight, baby. Wear that red dress I bought you." From someone named Victoria. My heart literally stopped. I confronted him that night, and he didn't even try to deny it. He just looked at me with these cold eyes and said, "Sarah, you've let yourself go. Victoria understands my lifestyle." His lifestyle? Like I hadn't spent 8 years supporting his career, hosting his boring work dinners, playing the perfect attorney's wife. I was broke within weeks. Turns out James had been hiding money, moving assets. His firm's lawyers destroyed me in the divorce. I got the house, but couldn't afford the mortgage. I went from country club brunches to working double shifts at a hotel downtown just to keep the lights on. But here's where it gets crazy. 3 months after the divorce, I'm working the front desk at the Lexington Hotel when this silver-haired guy in a $5,000 suit walks in. Evan Foster, real estate mogul, billionaire, literally one of the richest men in Chicago. He's there for some charity gala in our ballroom, and guess who's on his arm, dripping in diamonds and wearing that red dress? Victoria, my ex-husband's mistress. I almost lost it right there, but I kept my cool, checked them in professionally, smiled like my life wasn't falling apart. Victoria didn't even recognize me. I'd lost 20 pounds from stress and dyed my hair. As they walked away, I heard Evan mention something about a major announcement at the gala. My manager told me they needed extra servers that night because someone called in sick. I volunteered immediately. I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe I wanted to torture myself. Maybe I just wanted to see Victoria's face when she realized who I was. But something told me I needed to be in that room. That night, I put on the server uniform and headed to the ballroom. It was packed, Chicago's elite, champagne flowing, a string quartet playing. And there was Evan Foster at the head table with Victoria, who was working the room like she owned it. I watched her laugh at rich men's jokes, touch their arms, play the perfect socialite. It made me sick. This was the woman who destroyed my marriage, and now she was living my dream life times 1,000. I was serving champagne when I overheard Evan talking to another businessman. "I'm announcing my engagement tonight. Victoria's the one. Beautiful, sophisticated, everything I've been looking for." My hands started shaking so bad I almost dropped the tray. This woman, this homewrecker, was about to become a billionaire's wife. Where was the justice in that? But then I heard something else. Victoria was talking to another woman near the bathroom. Honestly, Evan's boring as hell, but his bank account isn't. Once we're married, I'll get a prenup settlement that'll set me up for life. Maybe 2 years, max. Then I'm out. She laughed, this cold, calculating laugh that made my blood run cold. I was freaking out. Should I tell Evan? Would he even believe me, some random server? But I couldn't let this happen. I'd been destroyed by betrayal. I wasn't going to watch another person walk into it blind, even if he was a millionaire who could afford it. The speeches started. Evan stood up, microphone in hand, and started talking about finding true love. The room went silent. Victoria was glowing, playing shy. And I couldn't. I walked straight up to the stage. Security tried to stop me, but I dodged them and grabbed the microphone. "Mr. Foster, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but you need to hear this." My voice was shaking, echoing through the ballroom. 200 faces stared at me. Evan looked confused, then angry. Victoria's face went white. I'm Sarah Mitchell. Victoria knows exactly who I am. She had an affair with my husband and destroyed my marriage. But that's not why I'm here. I looked directly at Victoria, whose perfect composure was cracking. 10 minutes ago, I heard Victoria tell someone that you're boring, that she's only marrying you for your money, and that she plans to divorce you in 2 years for the settlement. The ballroom erupted. People gasped, started whispering. Victoria screamed, "She's lying! She's some crazy stalker!" But her panic gave her away. Evan's gaze went from shock to this icy calm that was honestly terrifying. "Is this true?" he asked Victoria. His voice cut through the chaos like a knife. "No, baby, she's just jealous. Victoria was scrambling, but Evan held up his hand. "I record all my events for security purposes. We'll check the footage." He nodded to his security team, and 2 guys in suits immediately headed out. Victoria's face lost all its color. She knew she was caught. The ballroom was dead silent now. You could hear a pin drop. 5 minutes later, longest 5 minutes of my life, security came back and whispered something to Evan. He looked at Victoria with pure disgust. "Get out." His voice was quiet, but absolutely deadly. "Security, escort Miss Victoria out of my hotel and call my lawyers. I want a restraining order filed tonight." Victoria tried to grab his arm, started crying, begging, "Evan, please, I can explain." But he pulled away like she was poison. "You want to know what's insane?" Evan said, and suddenly he was looking at me. "This woman," he pointed at me, "a hotel employee who had every reason to stay quiet and keep her job, risked everything to tell me the truth. While you," he turned back to Victoria, "were about to ruin my life for a paycheck. Get out of my sight." Security literally dragged Victoria out while she screamed and cried. My heart was pounding so hard I thought I'd pass out. I'd just blown up a billionaire's engagement in front of Chicago's elite. I was definitely getting fired, probably sued. But watching Victoria's face as karma finally caught up to her, totally worth it. Evan walked over to me as the crowd buzzed with gossip. "What's your name?" "Sarah Mitchell, sir. I'm so sorry for disrupting." "Don't apologize. You saved me from making the biggest mistake of my life." He smiled, genuinely smiled. "I think we need to talk, privately." Guys, I'm not going to lie and say Evan and I rode off into the sunset together. Life's not a fairy tale. But what happened next was even better. He offered me a job at his company's corporate office, managing events. Real salary, benefits, career advancement. He said anyone with the courage to do what I did deserved a second chance. That was 4 months ago. I paid off my mortgage, rebuilt my savings, and started actually living again. James? He called last week asking to reconnect. I blocked his number. Victoria? Last I heard, she left Chicago after her social media got destroyed by the scandal. Sometimes karma needs a little push. Sometimes standing up for what's right, even when you're terrified, brings divine justice in the most insane ways possible. If this story inspired you, smash that like button, drop a comment telling me if you would have done the same, and subscribe for more crazy real-life stories. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.